What's up, you guys? James Strickland here. Welcome to week 19 on my road to 700 pounds on bench. Very good times in training this week. I hope you'll like this recap. So if you followed my recap last week, I did 615 for 2 and got a slight strain, if you will, in the pec, which in that recap on Thursday, actually I took it out on Friday, I felt very good, so I went ahead as scheduled today. Today's top set is 630 for 2. If I get this, it will definitely be a PR. Starting off here with 405, one of my last singles. Really happy with the speed. Moving on, gonna go to 5 plates here, 495. Typically like to get a lift off just to get used to getting a lift off for heavier weight. This will be second to last heavy warm-up. Very fast. I like it. Feeling really good. Last heavy warm-up here is 585. This is actually done at Dub's Barbell, as you can see in the upper left-hand corner. This is a gym in Spring, Texas. My buddy here, Justin Dubs, lifting off for me. He'll actually be also lifting off for me at the meet in 5 weeks. So definitely good to get used to how his liftoffs are and how everything feels. He'll get used to the way that I like my liftoff, which is obviously key to successful liftoff. See how we look here. Very happy with that. No big deal. I got the pin set up just a little bit lower, just above the neck, but definitely lower than my chest, just to make sure I don't hit these pins. That has messed me up a couple times here in the last few weeks of training, and it doesn't take very much to learn. You can pretty much bet that once I hit it once or twice, it won't ever happen again. So top set today here, I've got 630 pounds. This is my first time ever attempting anything over 620 for a true double. Little hesitant there, locked it out, looking good. Going for a 2. Bar went back just a hair, and I didn't explode as fast, so that wasn't real happy with that. But I'm actually asking my spotter what's going on. He's telling me where I'm hitting, and I actually went back. So looked at the video here, took about 10 minutes rest, didn't have any issues whatsoever. Confidence is an all-time high. I knew I could hit this. Obviously, if it was a strength issue, I wouldn't take this again. Put my headphones on here just to get back in the groove. Skull Smash smelling salts here. So it's basically ammonia that I'm sniffing. You can check out the link in the description for what that is and how I use it. Get you amped up for a lift, and going for 630 for 2 here. In my mind right now, I'm not even concerned with the first lift. I know that I can hit this because of the way it felt. It was a technical issue on that first lift, so let's see how we do here. We're a little bit fatigued, but let's see. First one, boom, little sticking point there, but happy with the rep. Taking it down, confidence, get stuck just a hair, no help, locked it out. Very happy. This is a PR for 2. A little bit of a grinder, more than I would like, but nevertheless, it's 2 reps. So I don't go off of rep calculators. I don't really care. Half the time they very much underestimate what my 1 rep max is at any given point in time. I think according to most of them, it's 630 for 2 would put you at about 660 on 1 rep. I'm going to show you guys here kind of an in the trenches view, just to show where I hit on my chest, how I grab the bar. I'm 19 inches apart, index to index. Boom, big chest, leg drive solid. Little bit slightly out of the groove on the left, just coming up, and that's kind of what hurt it, but it's still a PR, still works. Nobody counts 2 reps in a meet, so really this is just building the strength, building the confidence, getting ready, going into some lockouts here. This is 675 for probably about a 10-second hold, I think. This is basically just helping me to feel heavier weight without having to go through the full range of motion. Moving on to 725 here. Obviously, I don't want to take this all the way down to my chest. I'm already fried from 3 reps and basically 4 separate attempts at 630. My pecs are fried. You know, I don't want to put any serious weight on them right now. Obviously, I don't think it would be smart to try to bench 675 plus right now. Moving on, I'm going up to 765. This is basically going to spike my CNS. It's allowing me to hold heavy weight, work the triceps. My muscles are continually firing at this point. Perfect technique is key. I wouldn't urge anybody to do this unless you're getting ready to compete. There's really no benefit to it other than being able to say you can hold heavier weight. I moved up to a top set here of 815. You can see that bar bending the hell out of it. This is my Texas Power Bar, so I can do what I want with it, but it will bend right back. It's gonna be fine. But that 815, what it basically does is it will allow me to, the next time I hold 650 plus, my CNS is not going to be shocked. It won't feel as heavy. You know, if you've ever done it before, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, you can lock out you know, a lot more weight. Typically, if you're tricep dominant like myself, you can lock out a hell of a lot more weight than you can actually bench. You won't see me taking 815 in my chest, obviously. So moving on here, I've got 520 pounds for 3 sets of 3. Not real fast. It's supposed to be speed bench, so I am definitely, the intent is there to accelerate through the whole lift. It may not look very fast, at least to my own standards, but it's definitely serving its purpose of getting some more volume in for the chest. Obviously, I did this after my my lockout set, so my triceps are definitely fried. Shoulders are a little bit achy because of that, but it's definitely something I like to do because I want to feel that heavier weight. Like I said, come meet day when we have 700 plus on the bar, being able to say and confidently hold above my head for multi seconds, you know, for 8 and 10, 12 seconds, well above 700. Lockout will not be a problem at the meet. Holding that kind of weight will not scare me. It won't shock me. When I unrack that 705, it's going to feel really good in my hands. It's not going to feel super heavy like if you've never held it before. But those are the pin presses. I'm sorry, not pin presses, but lockouts. Static holds is also what they're called. Moving on, I got some weighted dips. This is 260 pounds, technically 261. I've got some weight there, and obviously I've got the Rogue pin, which is about 6 pounds. Shot it from a side angle to show you guys just how far down I really like to go comfortably. Obviously going any further than that would put my pecs, triceps, and basically put me in a very bad situation, just overextending the muscle. Dips are not meant to be full range of motion as far as kissing the ground and then being able to go all the way up. It's working the triceps, it's working the pecs. Get a nice stretch in your pecs and then go back up. There's no reason to hold it down at the bottom. I like to hold it at the top to get a little extra tension on the triceps. This is 2 sets of 5. First one went off without a hitch. Did get a little bit lightheaded on it. This is kind of expected. Anything over 200 plus can put you out. Moving on, second set here. Trying to get a big breath. Let's see how we look. Boom, got a little lightheaded there and came down just to get my bearings. No reason to swing back and forth when you're almost blacking out. Come back up here, let's see what we got. 2. And that's it. I am gassed. So that ended up being basically, what, 3.5 reps or so. I'm okay with that. Like I said, triceps are definitely fried from the lockouts. That I didn't, normally wouldn't have a problem with those weighted dips at the end there, but 260 is a good weight for me right now. Moving on to the seal rows. This is based on RPEs, so I put 225 for an RPE of 7. Moved up to 315. Show you guys what I'm listening to. I like a little bit of variety in my music, and yes, I do like Milli Vanilli, so take it as you will. Too bad they were lip singing back in the day, but you know, I like the music, some of it. Moving up, RPE 8 set, I put 315 on the bar. I think I probably should have done maybe 275. Got a little bit anxious here. Back is a little bit more fatigued than I thought. Wasn't getting quite the range of motion that I liked. It wasn't an RPE 8 on this technically. It was more like a 9. So I did the 6 reps there, and then for the third set, which is supposed to be RPE 9, instead of adding some stupid amount of weight, I went ahead and got a little wrap here, and threw on 320. Just, you know, put on a 325, I guess that is. It's 2 5s on each, or 1 5 on each side. That's 325 total as my last set of 6. I use straps on these because I don't want grip to be a limiting factor. I am not working on deadlifts right now, so I'm not looking to strengthen the grip. I could care less of what my pulling grip strength is, honestly. You know, and on these I'm already pretty fatigued, so I definitely want to hold on to as much weight as I possibly can and get the work on the back and not worry about the grip. All right, so moving on, I've got some dumbbell paused floor flies. 60 pounds for 3 sets of 13. I was definitely, these are basically one set where I'm very cautious about my pecs. I don't want to put them into a bind. Flies really do open up. It feels vulnerable, but I definitely, as I get to go, or as I go through the sets, I feel like everything opens up a little bit more. This first set actually wasn't too bad, considering 60 pounds here. Normally, the first set, I can't quite get down as low, but my pecs were definitely stretched out and open at this point of the workout, which normally they're pretty tight just because of the benching and things like that. But just little things that I pay attention to in my training. Nothing that's detrimental. It's not like if I can't go all the way down in the first set that it would be something bad, but definitely something I like to keep in mind. Elbows got a little too warm there, and I wasn't really feeling any kind of support on these flies, so I went ahead and took those off just to kind of cool off. It's a little bit warmer in the gym today, even though it's wintertime in Houston. Houston weather is all over the place. It could be 30 degrees one day and then 75 the next. So it's not really that cold, but sometimes it can be a little chillier than normal. You see me in the gym here with sweaters, and obviously today I don't have anything more than t-shirt and shorts. So obviously feeling good. By this time of the workout, my shoulders are actually kind of hurting a little bit. Not painful, but basically just tight from the lockouts. I mean, that's a lot of freaking weight. Obviously 815 pounds for a 10-second hold. Took a lot of energy to do that, but the benefit is definitely going to be there on meet day, so willing to take that. And this is actually going to be the last exercise that I do for day one, because my triceps are a little bit extra worked today. I went ahead and decided to do the tricep push down rope on my day 2. So you'll see that tacked on to the end of that day. But this will end up day 1. Moving on, day 2. This is done on Friday. And actually day 1 was done on a Tuesday this last week, just so that I have a little extra rest from last week on week 18, and I have a deload next week, so it doesn't really throw anything off. It actually works out perfect, but I make sure I had 2 days minimum rest. Shoulders are definitely still a little bit achy today, being day 2. This is done on a Friday. Starting off with my rear delt flies. This is 150 pounds on here, 3 sets of 15. Had a really long warm up today, involving my shoulder rotations, arm circles, some stretch bands. Basically, I like to put the, today I actually put Soar No More on from Skull Smash Ammonia. They also sell an ointment that you can put on sore muscles, and I like to use that to warm up and stay loose, or get loose for the warm up. So moving on. This gentleman didn't know that I was setting up on that machine already, so I asked him if he wanted to work in with me, and I think he just decided to move on. So this set literally only took me about 5 minutes, if that, so didn't take up too much time. But moving on, this is the seated lateral raise. This is 100 pounds on here, 3 sets of 15, and just showing you one set of that. Moving on, this is my dumbbell bench press. Actually was able to get this on video this week. Sorry about last week, my camera was acting up. Show you guys listening to a little Godsmack here, When Legends Rise. I like this new song from them. This is 100-pound dumbbells, 3 sets of 15. Put my feet up, mostly just to work on balance a little bit more, really focus on not having, I don't need the leg drive for these anyways. It does help with some of the stabilizers, so that's definitely a benefit to it. Showing you guys just one set of that for today. Moving on, next thing I've got is the straight-armed, fully extended dumbbell pullovers. Really good stretch here using the 55-pound dumbbell, 3 sets of 15. I'm going to show you just one set of this. Not real interesting, but definitely, like I've said before, definitely a good recovery stretch. Really working on getting back as far as you can. That's not uncomfortable, and just stretching that. You can stretch those delts, those lats, pecs obviously. Sometimes it'll expose some shoulder impingements, which I wouldn't recommend doing it through an impingement, but sometimes if you have it, it's nice to have that weight kind of pull that stretch a little further than maybe you could normally go, and loosen up maybe some tight rotator that's going on. I wouldn't, obviously if it's clicking or doing anything weird, I wouldn't keep doing it, but you can see my face on some of these where the first few reps are just a little, maybe uncomfortable would be the right word, but I'm very cautious about them. You know, I don't want to obviously do anything that's going to injure myself, but those are a great exercise to stretch everything out. Moving on, dumbbell paused tricep extensions. 55-pound dumbbells here, and this is 5 sets of 12. Showing you guys one set just to keep the time down, and getting a nice little pause here. Don't touch the ground with them. Keep constant tension on the elbows. Have no issues with the forearms or the elbows on these. I do like to wear my elbow sleeves typically on these just to take a little stress off the elbows. I did take them off the last couple sets because, well, for one, the ointment that I put on was starting to heat up. It's kind of like Bengay, where that menthol starts heating up through action, and any kind of compression or heat on that joint kind of makes it a little hotter than I would like. So I went ahead and took them off. Obviously, I have them off here. Moving on, it's the IYT dumbbell raises, named because you're basically raising them up like an I, reaching out as if you're in a Y position, and then T being the sideways. That is with 5-pound dumbbells, nothing crazy, nothing heavy. It's enough to get the blood flow in there. You can tell kind of right here, cringing just a little bit because I'm starting to feel that lactic acid build up. But this is 3 sets of 12. Really good for shoulder health. You want to keep those shoulders healthy. Definitely these loosened everything up from the close grip, not close grip, but the lockouts that I was doing on day one. Shoulders are still a little fried, and they will be, just because that's a lot of freaking weight. It'll take me a good week to recover from that, which is why next week's deload is perfect timing. Any kind of lockouts that I'll do from now on will obviously be after singles and not doubles, so I'll have a little more energy to do those and not feel as taxed. But like I said, I tacked on my tricep push down rope here just because my triceps had a couple days to rest up and get a little recovery. So I've got 200 pounds, the full stack at this particular gym and most gyms. 4 sets here. First set's 12, second and third are 10 reps, and then I got a max rep set at the end. What I ended up doing was tacking on a 25-pound dumbbell or a 25-pound plate, give myself a little extra weight. So total weight here of 225, Definitely want to treat these triceps to a nice heavy workout, especially after not being pre-fatigued from, obviously they're a little bit fatigued from the dumbbell extensions earlier, the floor extensions, but definitely not from 815 pounds worth of lockouts on bench. So hit 10 real quick on this. Showing you guys 3 sets here. And then the last set, because it is max effort, I went ahead and stripped off the plate and went to the 200 again. Let's see. This is pretty much going to just about failure. I don't want to hurt myself, but definitely want to feel that engorgement, that pump in those triceps. But that is going to end it for week 19. Next week's a deload, so nothing too exciting, but feeling very, very confident about the meet. Meet is just about 4.5 weeks away. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram @SwimHack, and I will see you guys next week on week 20. See ya.